Hello everybody, hope you guys are well and safe and enjoying your life. Welcome to my channel Technical Tips with Hassan. And sorry I was a little busy in previous days and I couldn't upload more videos, but yes, here I am. I'm back, and now we will continue from where we left, and hopefully you will understand and you will like my videos. And please subscribe the channel, hit the like button and the bell icon so that you can be notified on the next upload. So let's rock and roll, and let's start the video. So the agenda we have today is very important, as we are extending our last video, which was on the Linux networking, and there are some components which are left. As you know, that video went a bit longer, so we couldn't cover those topics. So I'm gonna cover some of the topics in this lecture, and we'll see how it will go, and then we will upload more topics as well. So the agenda we have today is the IP and the host name. We have the SSH. It is a very important topic, and as we promised before, that I will cover this topic. So here we are. We also have the Apache Webserver. It's also a very important topic, and we have to cover this, and this is a very important topic, Apache Webserver, and you will enjoy this topic. Particularly you will enjoy this video, very interesting video. So stay tuned, and let's start. Okay, so the first one is the IP and the host name. Before we dig into this topic, I would like to talk about DNS system. I'm sure many of you knows the DNS, and maybe it's a very basic thing for you, but for the people who don't know what is DNS, they needs to know the DNS before they come on this slide or lecture. So what basically is DNS? Is the DNS actually stands for the domain name system. It's you can say one of the foundations of the internet. Yet most of the people outside of the networking maybe or probably don't realize they use it every day, to do their jobs. For example, check their emails, or maybe waste time on the smartphones. I wouldn't say the waste time, maybe using the smartphones. So as I mentioned, that DNS stands for the domain name system. It's a system that lets you connect to the websites by matching human readable domain names, with the unique ID of the servers where the website is stored. So for example, think of the DNS system as the phone book or the contact book in your mobiles. You can't remember the names of the numbers of all of your contact. Okay, you save them as a human readable names. So if you want to call somebody, you don't have to call the number. You have to call for a name, and it will find the number there. So that's how DNS works. It is all the IP address to the domain name, and then domain name to IP address. So that's how it works. So basically, that's bit of the DNS. Now the first command is the dig command. So basically, dig command. So before I jump into dig, I would like to cover the Nslookup, and then I will cover the dig, so that you will have more idea of these commands, and you will understand actually more after that, after you understand the Nslookup command. Okay, so let's jump on to the lab. Okay, and that we have set up the lab before, and for those who don't have the lab setup, okay, please follow my lab setup video, where we set up the CentOS machine, and we are connected to that machine via terminal via SSH protocol, which we are going to of course cover today. So let's rock and roll. Okay, so Nslookup, first of all, Nslookup, if I press Nslookup and press enter, it brings it into its own prompt or its own menu. So for example, here if I type google.com, okay, you can see that it will provide me all of the IP addresses. Okay, now for sure, if you copy this IP address, you see that if you copy this IP address and put it here somewhere in the browser, it will bring you to the google.com. You see that? So we are accessing it from the IP address. So same, for example, if I say www.facebook.com, so you can see that it's resolving the Facebook records as well for us. So for example, if I copy this address, okay, and I paste it here, so you can see that it will let us connect to the Facebook. So that's how Nslookup work. So for example, if we type the same IP address here, and you can see that it will tell us the name of the DNS server of the Facebook, and you can see that it's a Facebook DNS. So that's how the Nslookup work. About the about the dig command. So dig command allows you to query information about various DNS records, including the the host addresses or mail exchange or name servers. It is the the most commonly used tool among system administrators, especially for the DNS troubleshooting problems. So these that's why we use the dig command. So for example, if I say dig, for example, if I say facebook.com, you see that it brings all of the information here. So you can see that it shows you what is the A record. Okay, and I would suggest you to dig deeper in the DNS topic and understand what is the the A record or C name record. You should understand this. So you see that it gives the information on this. So for example, if I anything else, for example, dig or te.ie, it's a local news here in Ireland. So you can see that it have two DNS servers set up there. Two DNS servers there, which are resolving the A records to these IP addresses. Okay, so that's how the dig command work, and you should practice more in your maybe search online more on the dig command. But that's how we use it. That's why we use it, where it's resolving the IP addresses. What IP addresses are they? So that's how you can work with the dig command. Okay, let's go to the next one. Is the hostname CTL, very important one. Okay, so you see that on this server, from the time when I started making the videos, you saw that the local host name there. So that is set up initially built in, and we never set up the host name there. So today we will set up the host name. There are two ways we can set up the host name with the command. We can also set up by editing the configuration file. So first we'll go with the command hostname ctl set host name, and then you can say, for example, web server 1, for example. You can say this, and your host name is set up. Now to take this effect, we need to reboot the machine, and then it will take the effect. So whenever we reboot this, you can see that SSH connection quickly broke the pipe from the server. Okay, and the connection is closed. So what will happen is, when it will come back after the boot up, you will see the whatever web server 1 name which we have given to this will be shown here. Okay, and then I'll show you the next step. as well. So if we try to connect again, server is up already, so we'll see here. Okay, so you see that now we have this web server name, web server 1 is there. Okay, so that's how we set up the host names, okay, on the server. But if I ping this address, so for example, if I ping this ping, and you know what is ping, yeah, you see that it's resolving the to the IP address. You see the IP address we have of this server. So web this is the IP which we use to connect to this server. So it's also resolving to that as to this IP address as well. We just knew the name, okay, we just ping the name, and then DNS resolve that name to this IP address. Okay, so the next the other way we can change is if we go to the host name config file, and you can see this here, and we can quickly change it here, reboot the machine, and we will see that name will appear here. Okay, so that's how we set up the host name. It's a very important topic. So okay, what's the next one? SSH, very important topic, and I hope many of you maybe know about it, but it's a very important topic, especially in terms of the system administration. When you are a system administrator, you have to connect to different infrastructure at your workplace to troubleshoot the things, to update, install, many operations. But for that, you need this protocol in place to connect to the servers and to the VMs, so that you can easily connect, and you can make the changes, whatever changes you want. Okay, so what it is exactly? So SSH is called as, for example, secure shell. Okay, so what happened is that if we have a hardware, we have installed the kernel on it. On the kernel we have shell installed, and then on the shell we initiate our commands. Okay, so to connect to that shell, we need that SSH protocol. Okay, what does it call? SSH is it called secure shell. Okay, it's a networking communication protocol which enables us to communicate with other machine. Okay, and share data as well. Okay, for example, if you remember that we use the rsync, SCP, and FTP protocols, this also works on this. Okay, and it's, you can say, inherent feature of SSH basically. So SSH, we usually use this to log in and perform operations on the remote computers, but it also used to transfer the data as well. All right, and basically you can see that it use the port 22. As I mentioned before as well, you should remember the common ports used by the different protocols, different services. So for SSH we have port number 22. The configuration file, you can see the etc, and the whole path is there. You can have a look. So important components. So important components are the PermitRootLogin, MaxSession, ClientAliveInterval, or ClientAliveCountMax. So these are the important components. So before I make you bore and tell you all this theory, I think we should jump in and work. So before I do anything, I just want to, because I have to test it. What I'll do is now you remember this command where we add the user as to to use users, we add the users here in this file in vi sudo, so that they can initiate and execute the root command. Okay, without being root, they will be able to initiate the root commands and root operations. Why I'm doing it? Because to make this server more secure, I am going to disable the root login here, okay, so that you understand it better, why we use this, and what's the purpose of these parameters or the components which we have made there. So I added the user so that we don't have any trouble there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this file SSH, and I think I made a mistake here. It shouldn't be SSHD, it should be SSH. Okay, it's all right, we usually make the mistake, so it's fine. And SSH, if we go to SSHD config, no, there is the port, okay, sorry, the file, okay, and you can see that we have pretty much a lot of things there, a lot of parameters there, a lot of the components which we can edit and modify as per our needs. So first of all, you can see the port. As I said, the most common port for SSH connection is which is used is the port number 22. Okay, you can change it as well. Usually people do is that they change this port so that they no one can guess that what port number is it connecting. Maybe sometime bad people they can hack into it, or if there is no proper security measures there. Okay, and if we are using this port, so it's a good practice if we do that, if we change the port. But anyways, this is a lab environment, so we're not going to do that. Okay, so you see that PermitRootLogin, it's saying yes. Okay, I'm going to disable it for now, okay, so that we can make the changes. Okay, so you see that this is good for security. We can keep it because nobody will be able to log in via the root user. So I'm going to exit from here quickly, and I'm going to let's see we are still able to I know that. Why? Because we did not restart the daemon or the service, SSHD service. Okay, we have to restart the SSHD service so that the changes take place. So you see that we have restarted it now, and now it should take the changes should be taken place. So you can see that, and if we log into this, so you see that permission is denied. Okay, now we remove that root permit root logins, we disable that, and now you can see that even I am putting the right password, you see that it's saying the permission denied. Okay, because root is a very important user. It can easily break the things. Okay, and nobody wants to risk their maybe $1 million servers. So what we do is we will log in from the other users which are allowed to use this, and now we say, for example, sudo -, because the HROSA user is in the sudoer file, so, or in the sudoers list, so we can log into this. So that's what SSH is. SSH, you see that rpm-qa and graph for SSH, and you see that these packages, OpenSSH, OpenSSH servers, these are the packages that OpenSSH clients, these are the packages which we are using to log to install the SSH service. Okay, and how to restart this service, how to install this service. So we'll move to the next topic now, but just remember that that's how you can make your server secure. Okay, there are other sections as well. For example, we can set up maximum sessions as well, or ClientAliveInterval. That's very interesting one actually. If for example, if you are logged in like myself, you see that I'm logged in, and if I got up or if somebody called me, or if some meetings comes up, and I just left the terminal like this. So we can set up the time as ClientAliveInterval. So for example, if we can set up, for example, 400 seconds, what it will do is after 400 seconds it will simply exit from that terminal's SSH session. That's how we can keep our service safe as well. So ClientAliveCountMax, that's also we can set up this one as well. So there are different parameters. If you dig deeper into this file here, and you will understand how many things we have there. Okay, now the next one which we have is the very important one, is the Apache Webserver. Okay, I'm not sure if many of you are are familiar with this, but this is a very important thing. So for example, if you are using the websites, if you're watching a website, or if you are watching any web page, so it's all because of the web server. Okay, there are many other web servers as well, Tomcat, Nginx, Apache. So there are many of them. Okay, but this is the this is all because of the web servers. Okay, and Apache web server is free and open source web server, that delivers web content through the internet. And it quickly become very popular when it was launched before, and it widely thought that the Apache gets its name from a development history and the process of the improvement, through applied patches and the modules, but that was corrected back in 2000. So that's the Apache server. Let's jump into it and we'll see how we can install it. So before we install it, we want to verify that if it's there. -QA. The package name is HTTPD, and so you see that we don't have the Apache web server installed on our CentOS. So what we have to do is we have to install it. And to install this, we'll say yum install httpd, and now it will see where it is, and it will install. Okay, so you see that we have these packages available, and asking if you want to install it. We can simply install that, and there you go. Yeah, now it's installed. And what we'll do is now we will check the status if it's running. See that it's inactive, it's dead. We have to start this, and we start this one. You can see that, and now if we check the status, you see that it's active and running. Okay, now what we will do is we will go to the web server. Okay, open a new tab, and we will put the IP address, and it cannot access. Okay, why it is like that? We'll check this out. I think it's because of the firewall. Sorry, firewall. And you can see that it's running. We can try to add the rule here, so that dash, sorry, it should be dash permanent, and zone will be public. Add service HTTP. Okay, and if we run this, you can see that it's successful, and we can firewall, dash command, and we can say load reload. I'm sorry, there's something. Yeah, so it's reload, and if we refresh this, you can see that now we can see the Apache page. Okay, Apache page, we can see that. But for that, I mean, I can quickly say, for example, if we say HTML, if you go there, I can see, you can touch create a file here in var whtml directory, index.html. No, just to let you know that this directory is added as the root doc in the Apache Webserver configuration, which I'm going to cover next. Okay, so don't worry that why we are creating the file here, I'm going to cover that. Okay, so you can see that we have the file here. Okay, we can put the content in it. So for example, LFCS. By the way, this is the VI editor, and if you haven't seen my lecture of VI editor, you should see that so that you understand how I am using this editor. Okay, so LFCS is for example grade certification. Okay, we save this. Okay, and to check the Apache configuration, that if it's right, in the corporate environment we usually run this command when we update it or when we make any change to the configuration. We check this and it say the syntax is okay. I was just adding the web page, I shouldn't do that, just to let you know, but you see syntax is right. So we can do is that we simply say systemctl. Don't restart all the time. In the corporate environment we don't restart it most of the time, we just reload the service. In this way it doesn't restart it and doesn't break the service. Okay, we reload the configuration. Now if you say this one, so you can see that LFCS is grade certification. Okay, we can see this on our web page. So this is the how you can say, for example, a first website you have installed here. Okay, so that's something like that. And this is how you set up your first web page. Okay guys, and I would like to request you to dig deeper into the Apache Webserver. Okay, you will understand what the Apache Webserver is, how we can configure that. Just to show you a couple of things here, if you see httpd, this is the Apache server directory, configuration directory. We go to the conf directory, you can see that http.conf. This is the configuration of the Apache server. Okay, you can see that a lot of things are there. One thing which I just want to show you is, if you just view it, so this is the directory. So you see that that's the server root directory, that's the listening. Okay, so for example this one, okay, and I want to change it to some other port. For example, I want to change it to 8080. Okay, I don't want to listen this port on the port 80. I can change it. Okay, so for that what I'll do is I'll check, first of all I'll check the syntax. Yeah, that's fine. And now what I'll do is I'll reload it. Okay, once I'll reload it, I'll go back here and you'll see that it cannot access that page anymore. Why? Because by default this browser is looking for port 80. To get the port 8080, we can say this one. Okay. Oh yes, we have to add that port from the firewall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply it's a good practice that if we do it this way, firewall -command, because that port is by default is not allowed from the firewall. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll add a rule so that you have more practice to this. So we'll say is TCP 8080 and --zone, it should be public. I think I'm missing something, maybe this syntax or something like that. No, or maybe I just simply add the port actually. Give it a second. No, it's something like that. Okay, that's how we add the port, but it's okay, we can simply for now it's a lab environment, we can stop the firewall. I'll check the syntax, what's the syntax error is, but for now I'll stop the firewall so nothing is blocked here. So you see that now it's listening on the port 8080 here. Okay, and if you see here as well, so it will listen, but if you say for example on port 80, it will not, because now it's listening on port 80. So that's, we can manipulate the Apache configuration as well. I would like to play with it, check different features, how we can add that, learn about the virtual host. I will try to cover it, but learn about the virtual host, what is the virtual host and how we can configure that, and you will understand a lot of things. So just a recap, we have this agenda here: IP and hostname, SSH, Apache Webserver. If you have any question, please leave it in the comment. Okay, but for now, that's the end of the video, and that's all from this video. Hope you like it, hope you learn from it, and if you have any question, please let me know in the comment section, and I'll get back to you soon as possible. Okay, thank you very much guys, and I'll see you in next video. Okay, enjoy the Linux.